As a saying goes for UX tools, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become Adobe. Hey, what is up? Welcome back, Design Squad. In 2019, I started by reviewing the prototyping tools. Basically, we have a criteria of prototype fidelity, so how advanced is the prototype? Is it just a slideshow change? Or is it variables-based, calculation-based? You can do lots of validations, things of that nature would feel lifelike to the user. Ease of use, is it easy to use? Is it hard to use? Time to master, what's the time to onboard and adopt it? Do you need a lot of years, let's say, to master? It's like Axure, let's say. Beast. But it takes so much to get into it to actually use it. Price point, is it free with some sort of twist? Then versatility, how flexible is it? Does it contain simple sketching mechanisms and features? Does it contain interactive prototyping mechanisms and features? Does it allow it? And then feature relevance and Lindy effect, things which have history. Could be a concept, a tool, a way of doing things, interaction, social aspects. If they remain for quite some time, it's likely that they're going to remain for the same exact time frame plus 1 day for each day it gains. So let's say if I'm making videos for over a year and 1 day, it's likely that I'm gonna make videos for 1 more year and 1 more day and then add additional days as I go. And it seems quite similar to UX tools as well. Let's say Axure has been in the market for decades. And I reviewed quite a few different tools. We have now 19 tools. If you ask me, it's way too many. Every year I try to release this video to kind of update these scales and see exactly if there's any new development. And boy, there are some new developments this year. First and foremost, you're gonna notice that I added Quant-UX, is this tool I reviewed the other day. Just check out other videos on the channel, you're gonna see exactly what my first impressions were, but ultimately I positioned Quant-UX in several different scales. So for example, the prototype fidelity is quite high, it's very close to Axure. The ease of use is quite complex, new starters I would say, because I guess it's easier than Axure or Webflow or anyone else, or FramerX for that matter. Time to master would be quite long time as well, quite similar to what you would expect from, let's say, ease of use side. Free of charge, you can actually use it immediately. Versatility is quite high as well, close to other tools, and feature relevance and Lindy is hard to tell, is probably medium or so. One change which you're gonna spot is a Supernova Studio is no longer around. So in a previous statement, Supernova Studio was very high on, let's say, complexity, but also what you could achieve versatility wise. But now Supernova is all about design systems, and I haven't tried any of it yet. Ultimately, they pivoted into the design system realm instead of focusing on that super high fidelity complex mockup conversion into the code, basically what they did before. So I totally took it out because it's no longer a prototyping tool. Other changes which are really worth mentioning is Figma, and there's nothing new to it, but some of you they're calling out that,
hey, Figma is not as complex as other tools.
And I totally understand where you're coming from. But for example, from versatility standpoint, Framer might be, for example, higher than Figma. But you need to consider that some tools are purpose-built and they're constricted on purpose. So if you can achieve one task in a super high fidelity or, it's super well, but other tasks are not as well, it's not as versatile, is it? And that's why Figma, let's say Sketch, I would even push Figma even further than Sketch now. With all the plugins, you can just expand it. You can make, so much of it right now. You could literally make apps if you want to, or kind of like a prototype for games of Figma. I'm gonna leave the link down below if you want to look into detail. Focus on what's on the side of the spectrum, on the extremes. That medium ground is like a gray area of a blend of a lot of different functionalities, a lot of different properties and factors, right? But the actual extremes are super duper important, and that's what I want to visit immediately and quickly before we jump into other developments in the actual UI UX prototyping landscape this year. If we look at the prototype fidelity, again, the Draftium, Invision, Sketch, Marvel are on a lower end. The higher end is like a Webflow for web design. Axure and Quant-UX are on a higher end. UXpin, Figma, FramerX, stuff like that. They're kind of like when blend into that medium ground. I don't know about Invision Studio. I saw it's quite dead, or at least we haven't been updating it for quite some time. So I don't know how that's working out for them. Maybe there's gonna be a rebirth of it. So I don't know. Maybe we're gonna need to take out later in the year. Complexity, so ease of use and simplicity. I think it's kind of like a reverse of a fidelity almost. And the same is for time to master. We have all those power tools on the left hand side and the simple tools on the right hand side. And then the pricing. One of the developments which I wanted to bring up is that Figma is no longer going to be free from April 2021. There's a lot of different rumors of what that's going to mean, but basically what is going to happen is that Figma is going to have to come closer to, let's say, Axure, where you have to pay after a trial, let's say, or features which are free are going to be super limited. And of course, Adobe XD no longer free either, so I think maybe those two are going to be partnering up on the same kind of subscription fees. As the saying goes for UX tools, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become Adobe.
We fight! You tell me when I'm being an arrogant son of a bitch, and I tell you when you're being a pain in the ass. Which you are, 99% of the time. I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings. They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
So what? There is no easy way. No matter what I do, somebody gets hurt.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want?
Versatility again is, I think it's quite reflective of what you can do. Again, it depends how specific of a task the tool can complete. And then feature relevance in Lindy, a lot of different tools, hard to tell exactly what's going to happen. Like with Invisions and things which are not maintained, but those tools are more likely to die out because it's quite like in the shadows. But there's a lot of other tools like Principle, for example, is probably going to remain for quite some time because it's such a small purpose-built tool that it's almost hard to replace. Some tools try to emulate or add it to like existing, like Invision Studio, but when we cannot do it well because we just spread up too thin. For example, Axure, which has been for what, like a decade around, is probably going to be for another time frame. This is it really for the developments, with a caveat. One thing what I wanted to show you this year was the 2020 Design Tools Survey. They basically collected 4,100 responses from a variety of countries who are using different tools for UX and UI. But I think most relevant for this video is a prototyping aspect. For example, as you can see, Webflow, Protopie, UXpin, and FramerX and Axure are in the top 5 of the tools. And all of them had more than 100 total votes in their category, basically. So Webflow is amazing for websites and brochureware, you know, the basic kind of like UI design for web apps. Protopie, UXpin, FramerX, Axure are all very hardcore specialized tools, but the rating is really high compared to the other tools. And as you can see, Figma is taking the throne basically from Sketch and Invision. Like a third to a half of respondents basically use it as a primary tool, and then as a secondary tool also go religiously with Figma. Then Invision is the second one, and as you can see, they split it into Invision Studio and Invision separately. But to me, Invision is so high as that vanilla Invision app is because it's used by digital strategists and marketers and everyone in between. It's not just UI prototyping or UI design tool, because anyone can use it basically, not just what I would consider like a UX pro or product design pros basically. Adobe XD, you know, I'm not a fan as you know, but Adobe XD is a third one because it's a part of a suite, it's specialized tool, and also it supports both Mac and Windows, so it has a big reach, especially for companies who use Adobe by default. Design teams there are like, well, might as well use it and adopt it because it's quite powerful, but it's not impressive. The surprising bit is that Sketch bounced down, but I guess they're not as innovative, you know, they're not getting as much traction as, let's say, Figma. It has a bigger breadth, again, like just almost like Adobe XD. If you would combine Adobe XD and Sketch and make it a web-based, you then have Figma. Very surprising that Principle and Protopie are that high, because Principle is like a mini micro tool for specific high fidelity. HTML, CSS, JavaScript still are used, but as a secondary tool mostly. Axure, half-half basically. There's still quite a lot of people using it. I'm a strong believer, and I think it's gonna remain around for as much as UX is gonna be trusted. FramerX, Marvel, Invision Studio, which is surprising. I'm not sure what people find in Invision Studio at this point. It's not that great. Webflow is very small bit, but has very good rating. But again, it's a niche, it's all about website design. UXpin, Flinto, which is similar to Principle, Proto.io, which is a new development, still taking Origami Studio, is even smaller, and then other. quite a few. But as you can see, the scales are flipping towards the more versatile tools or more open tools, which you can do a lot with, not just UI design, but also prototype. It's a good snapshot. I think it's quite fair. Other bits which are interesting is really the developments over time. So as you can see, the sketch rain kind of went up and then it's going down. The Invision just is going down, and I'm not surprised by that. Adobe XD is kind of like dwindling, and Figma is just skyrocketing, and the trends are up. And then of course a lot of people are using Sketch and something else which Figma is trying to replace. So there is a combination of different tools, and this is what we got to in this year. As you can see, there is not much change apart from switching the tools, reflecting on the pricing and things of that nature. If you think that I should swap some tools around, let me know down in the comments. And also, if you notice, I have some other videos floating around me here which are all to do with prototyping tools. If you like one of them, check it out. It also supports the channel. And on that note, I'll see you next time.